Hi everyone, welcome to the Food and Travel Enthusiast channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my teriyaki chicken with rice, and I have about 2 chicken breasts that I'm cutting up in strips that I'm going to be seasoning with powdered seasoning and some garlic, and I am going to be letting that marinate overnight, and then we'll cook it the next day. So there I'm just showing you how to cut the chicken in strips. And there we are on our final piece of breast, about to get it in our container so we can season it up with all the different seasonings to have a great flavor. But first we're going to be washing it with some white vinegar and drain it. And there you see I'm just mixing it up with some water, and I'm going to be squeezing it dry. You can add some lime juice too, that's just something I do in the kitchen. I always wash my meat with vinegar, and so I'm squeezing it out as best as I can to get out all the water. And there you have it. So now we're going to season up that meat to be marinated. So I started with my ground cumin. I'm going to add some black pepper, some creole seasoning. You can just season it as much as you would like, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of each. Some smoked paprika to give it that color, and then I'm going to be adding some Maggi seasoning for the brown color. You can add soy sauce if you have that too. Then I added some liquid smoke, about a 1/4 teaspoon as well, and then I'm going to be adding some Old Bay. And again, you notice I don't use salt because the Creole seasoning and the Old Bay has salt in it. And then I'm adding some Mrs. Dash and some sazon to my meat, and then I'm going to add some fish and meat sauce, and then we're going to be adding some cornstarch as well. That's about a 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch, and some crushed garlic. That's about 3 cloves of garlic that I grated. And so then we're going to mix that all around and cover it and leave it overnight. So now we're going to be showing you how we cook the rice. I use about a cup of rice, and I'm going to be washing it. This is parboiled rice, so if you use a cup of parboiled rice, you can use about 1 3/4 cups water to cook the rice. So I'm just going to wash it until my liquid become a little bit clearer, and then we will move over to the stove. Now we're at the stove. I'm adding my 1 3/4 cups water. You can even start with 1.5 cups, and then as you go, if you think you need a little bit more, then you add a little bit more. So there I add about 2 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to let that cook. Once it comes to a boil, and I'm going to lower my flame to medium heat, and then see, now it's boiling up. I will lower my flame to little less than medium heat, so it stays there and cook. And there I'm checking it to see, just to make sure it's not stuck to the bottom or burning. And then I'm just going to smooth the top out and cover it up and let it steam some more. Some people use foil paper or plastic. I try to avoid that as best as I can. So now we're going to be cooking the chicken breast that we left overnight. I put some thyme and butter in there and some garlic, just a clove of garlic, and then I'm going to be putting my chicken in and making sure that the pieces are separated so they have that nice brown color that I like. You can use medium heat for this as well, because you don't want the chicken to be burnt. And there I am just trying to make the chicken separated, since they've all clumped together overnight. And so that's what we're doing here. I'm gonna cover it and let it steam for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'm going to rinse out my container and pour it in there, just to get out the last set of flavors that may have been left in my container. And then I'm going to be covering it again for another 5 minutes. There I'm trying to make sure that every side is brown. For me, I like when it's brown. So if you, it's your preference if you'd like that. And there is the water I've added to it. You can also add the vegetable broth right here, or your chicken broth, whatever broth you have as well. So there I'm checking the rice to make sure that the water has dried out properly and it's not sticking to the bottom. And then we're going to continue cooking our meat. And so there we're multitasking today again, and letting my water simmer in the pot. And so now I'm going to be adding some Mrs. Dash, all the seasoning that we've used before. We're going to be adding here again, so we maintain the flavor throughout our cooking. That's the fish and meat sauce there, and the Maggi seasoning, and the Old Bay, and some liquid smoke as well. And some raw honey. We're just gonna add that in with our vegetable stock, and some sugar and sesame seed oil. And you just add I would say a little less than a 1/4 teaspoon of each. If you want it to be more flavorful, you can add a little bit more, but we're going to be adding all those ingredients in now. And the soy sauce or the Maggi seasoning will give it that brown flavor, and the teriyaki with the honey will give that teriyaki flavor. And once you get all that in, then you just stir and let it simmer for about another 5 minutes. Then you're going to make some cornstarch mix, so about a 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch to about a 1/4 cup of water or a little less, and then add it slowly. So there I'm just adding my ginger, my grated ginger, and some garlic as well, and I'm going to be adding some scallion, bell peppers, onion, thyme. If you have scotch bonnet pepper or habanero, you can add it if you'd like. And in this case, I didn't add any hot pepper apart from the black pepper. So once that is simmered and cooked, then you'll just add that cornstarch mixture a little at a time. And if it's too thick for you once you add the cornstarch, then just tip a little bit of water to get that thinner consistency according to your taste. And let that simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'm gonna show you how I plate the rice with the teriyaki chicken so you can serve up a good looking meal. And I'm just making sure here that everything is incorporated and coated with that cornstarch mixture. And then I'll show you what the consistency look like. There, if you want it a little bit thinner, you can add some more water as I've suggested before. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, share, turn on that notification not to miss any videos, and leave a comment as well to let me know where you're watching from and how you like the recipe, because you want to smell it here. It smells so good. I just added a little bit of green onions there, and then I'll use the other as some garnish. So there I go plating my rice, and I'm just trying to get that in the middle of the plate so I can put my teriyaki chicken over the whole thing. And there we go with the chicken. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good day. See you on the next video. Be safe. Bye.